If you procrastinate, it's because your brain is running an avoid script. Ambivalence, vacillation, opposition, idealism, and delay. Ambivalence is when the brain sees two things as having pros and cons, so you don't know which one to choose. Vacillation is when you kind of commit to both. So you're trying to work out both and you're going from one to the other. You start one and then go to the other. And because of that, you never build up any sort of momentum. And then the storekeeping part of your brain weighs up pros and cons. And because it's very focused on avoidance of pain, it focuses on the negatives. So it sees all the reasons not to do something rather than all the reasons to do it. And then the bookkeeping part of the brain, which is the emotional part, is trying to work out what should happen, what's the ideal scenario. And it creates this sense of perfectionism. The final part is the peacekeeping part, is making a decision. If you commit to delaying, it's like saying, oh, I've resolved this because I'm going to delay it. And it puts a narrative on it. So the way around this is to employ a magic spell mind frame. So the first step is a mental stimulus. When you do something, as soon as you start to think about it, have a little phrase, or just do it, or a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, or something that says, I'm doing this. Because what happens is it's doing stuff that makes the feelings and the thoughts actually work, rather than if you start waiting to feel like it, or trying to think the right thoughts before doing something, you can't, because your brain is going to stop you from doing. The timekeeping part of your brain, which is your impulses, needs action patterns, right? That's habit. So if you've got a process and it's predictable, the brain gets you ready for things if it knows what's going to happen. But the more you kind of delay and create obstacles, the harder that's going to be. So it needs action patterns. So that's habits, routines, a schedule. Those kind of things are what beat procrastination. The next thing is gradual evolutions, right? So if you let the storekeeping part of your brain know that actually you don't need to do the whole thing today. You're not going to get fit today. You're not going to write a book today. Break things down into small chunks and just take tiny steps towards your final goal. Then the bookkeeping part of the brain needs intentional lifestyle. So if it's focused on what you're doing and not reacting emotionally, it's saying we're doing this because we're trying to reach this goal, rather than reacting to situations and trying to live up to expectations. It's saying, I'm going to do this because this is going to take me towards my goal. That's when you start feeling like doing stuff. And then the final part, the peacekeeping part of your brain, needs conscientious leadership. So rather than putting a narrative on things once they've happened, so not feeling like it and then trying to put a story on why you're not feeling like it, you're starting with a purpose and putting a narrative on it. And then that's going to set the agenda and say, right, okay, this is the strategy, this is what we're doing, this is why we're doing it, and what we're going to do now is this. So that's the magic spell mind frame. It should help you to get things done and achieve the life you want.